This is Jesus. And you got to remember, this is Jesus saying, verily, verily. This is Jesus saying, truly, truly. And what he's about to say is a universal truth. And it would stand alone on its own, but the fact that God in the flesh is saying it gives it self-relevance. Amen. So Jesus is saying, truly, truly, or verily, verily, I say unto you, except, everyone say, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. Amen. In every season of our life, we go through situations that just don't seem to make sense. Anyone ever been there where you're just kind of going your way down the road of life, and then boom, it's like you bump into an invisible force field, or everything just falls apart on you, or your health fails, something happens, something comes up, and it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem like God even cares at times. I got to admit to you, there's been times in my life I wondered if God even cared about me. There's been times in my life where I questioned and I wondered, why am I in the middle of this circumstance? It seems like it's so easy to forget God's goodness and God's loving kindness toward us. Amen? Amen. It's so easy to look at the circumstance and forget to look up at God. Right. The hard part, in my opinion, of those times is when it seems like God has abandoned us. And like the man of Gadara, it's easy for us to kind of concentrate on the tombs of our life. I have tombs in my life. Even right now, I can look at a tomb. One of those tombs is freshly dug, and it says, preaching. But yet, here I am tonight in the presence of the Lord. I can look back in my life, and I can see tombs, my father's tomb, and I can see tombs of dreams and desires. If you look back over your life, there's tombs that you can live and dwell among, and you can walk among them, and you can wander the hills and the mountains, and you can cry over them. And it seems like those tombs are just a constant reminder of what used to be, the broken pieces of your life, the mistakes that you made. You're dwelling among the tombs. I've been there, and I mourned at the tombs of the gravesite of my promises. But in the middle of all that, I believe that God has taught me what I would have to call a life principle. A genuine life principle that God has worked into my life through hardships. Me and my wife have lived through times where all we had to feed when Hannah was a little girl, all we had in our house was pancake mix, and God provided. We've lived through times where we've had such an abundance that it seemed like the world was our oyster, and everything was just going right. But God was there, and through all of these situations in life, the losses and the sufferings, and living among the tombs, God gave me this principle, and I want to share it with you because it's become a guidepost in my life. And I believe that if I can transfer this principle to you tonight, if I can get this thought and stick it in your head, if I could get this experience and put it in your heart, that it's going to do two things. It's going to immediately help you understand one of the ways that God works in your life. And number two, it will immediately give you hope for tomorrow.